These are the commons, white commons.
Oh, nice. So we're gonna be done with all the commons today, and uncommons. That's cool. Okay. Alley evasion. For white, choose one. Target creature gets +1/+2, or return target creature you control to its owner's hand. But I don't know. D- is a terrible trick. It's fine sometimes. I just really don't like it. I don't want to pick this unless I feel it, and then maybe I hope I don't play this D-. I really hope I don't play this.
Sure, I'm on a D. I don't like it that much. It looks like it's flexible, but the flexibility.
Yeah, neither part is really good.
Isn't really going to push it over the edge of a natural card.
Neither part is really good. Yeah.
1 second, resetting the poll. Built to last, which is 1 mana instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. It's an artifact creature, gains indestructible. Can protect artifact creatures from removal. Can protect vehicles from removal, which is kind of bananas because like vehicles are already sort of immune to sorcery speed removal just by nature of them not usually popping up on your opponent's turn. And this one just can protect against an instant too, which is actually quite nice. This card actually lined up pretty well, but it's still just a combat trick. So I have this one at a C-.
Whoa, C-?
C-.
That's high.
High?
Yeah.
Oh, I like combat tricks.
I
1 mana
really
combat
like
tricks
combat
are the spice of aggro decks.
No, I'm pretty sure I always give combat tricks lower grade than you, but I play more of them in my decks.
Yeah, so what the heck?
Yeah, weird. But I'm not picking them highly. I'm picking them like super late. That's when I get them. Like I'm wheeling the tricks usually. That's when I want them.
People need to pick tricks higher then.
I don't know about it. It's just like this card is all just giving one more power is giving you like a C- compared to like a D. Okay, so this is a huge difference. It is +1/+2 compared to +2/+2. It's a huge difference. So you're gonna have some artifact creatures as well. So I guess I am giving it. I'm giving it a D+. It's a fine trick. Why not? But nothing special. Tricks always open you up for 2-for-1s. That's kind of a problem. Okay, we have Fragmentize for white. Destroy target artifact or enchantment with converted mana cost 4 or less. I'm not playing this, even though there are a lot of artifacts and some enchantments. I'm not main decking this. Don't play this in your best of 1 decks.
I think you can get away. So we should have a talk about artifact enchantment removal in this set, right? Because I think you can definitely get away with main decking artifact enchantment hate. But just the fact that this has like double layer of conditionality onto it is actually kind of rough, you know? It's like kind of rough to just be main decking this straight up. Because there's like green artifact enchantment destruction. Like say, for example, theoretical naturalize. I understand that there's like actual stuff I could reference, but just for a card that everyone knows, I would probably play naturalize in the main deck and it would be fine. But like this one it's rough. It's rough. So I would put this one at I'm just gonna give this a D-. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, okay. I'm still on an F with this. I don't want to play it in any of my decks. Audacious Infiltrator. For 1 and white, you have a 3/1. Sorry, I read it again. Audacious Infiltrator can't be blocked with artifact creatures. It does mean something. It's gonna trade with an actual creature, not a fabricated creature. Did you reset the grades?
I did not yet. Got me.
So I was playing a good number of these. But I was not like picking them highly. I'm still gonna give it a C-. It's fine. It's fine. It's just a fine 2-drop.
C-. Same thing.
Okay.
Let's talk about Aviary Mechanic. Aviary Mechanic is a card that needs to have grades reset, I think. Aviary Mechanic is a 1 white, 2 mana total for a Dwarf Artificer 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, you may return target permanent you control to its owner's hand. Yeah, so this is fine. So like you can pay 2. This triggers revolt stuff. You can return something to your hand. You can rebuy into the battlefield effects, which I don't think there are that many. However, Fabricate creates more servos, right? If you have something on the battlefield that's fabricated, you can return it back. play it again, create another servo. Marginal benefit. Yeah, there's like a negative aura on your creature. Bounce it. It's fine. I think this is like a solid C for me.
Yep, yeah, this is gonna be one of the main 2 drops you're gonna play in white. It could go up to C plus, but I think I'm starting it as a really solid C, high C. I don't wanna give it a C plus yet, but I think this could go up to a C plus. It triggers Revolt as well, remember that, so that's nice. Although for 2 mana it's kinda costly to trigger Revolt. Okay, we have Conviction for 1 and white, enchant creature, aura. The enchanted creature gets +1/+3, and for 1 white, you can return Conviction to its owner's hand. So, if that creature is about to trade and die, and 1 power doesn't matter, you can get it back, which is fine. If you want to trigger Revolt, you can get it back, which is also fine. And again, it kind of costs a lot to just give +1/+3, which is not fine. So I'm just got this card as a D, and that's about it. I don't really want to play it.
D, nothing else to add. So that means let's talk about Countless Gears Renegade. Countless Gears Renegade, 1 white, 2 mana total for Dwarf Artificer 2/2. Has Revolt. When it enters the battlefield, if a permanent left the battlefield this turn, create a 1/1 servo artifact creature token. Yeah, if you can get this as a servo on turn 2, with like Renegade map, for example, that's strong. You're usually not going to get that. It's not trivial to get Revolt, but it's a 2 mana 2/2. It's going to be fine. Have this at a C.
Those are huge hands.
The hands on the thing? Is it a dwarf? It's a dwarf.
Yeah, I think it's a dwarf.
Maybe that's just how they look.
But they still feel huge.
Why are you pointing out this small detail about its hands?
It's a big
Why are you being so judgy?
Detail. So, what did you give it?
Does this bother you, Lola?
No, it's just interesting. What did you give it?
I give it a C.
Do the hands change the grade?
No, they don't. They don't change the grade. What are you trying to say?
Okay. We're not gonna focus
You
on
like
the
big
hands.
hands, Lola? Is that what you're into?
Big hands, small hands?
Yeah. Do you have hand preference? I don't.
Well, I think usually most men prefer small hands. I think everybody knows why, right?
No.
Come on, you know why. It looks bigger.
Okay.
So, but I don't care about that really. So, Scotty, stop it, please. So when you asked the question, I was just answering. So this is really fine. I'm probably having this as a C plus. I mean, I don't know. In many decks, the 2/2 that returns something to your graveyard is gonna be better. So I'm giving this a C. But I'm thinking like the card that returns that may return the permanent you control could go to C plus.
Okay.
So I'm giving this like high C. It's fine. Just as a 2/2, it's fine. But if you create something that's really solid. I think can you change the grade for Aviar?
I already changed it to C plus.
I'll give it a C plus. Yeah, I know. I always liked it a lot. But then it looks like there are so many artificers in this set. Wait, is the 3/1 artificer as well? No, it's a rogue, right?
It's rogue, yeah.
Okay. Eddie Trail Hawk. Why is it Eddie?
What?
Why Eddie?
I don't know.
Isn't that a name?
I think an eddy is a noun, not just a proper noun. An eddy is something that exists.
Ah, it could be. Eddy is a disturbance in a fluid. Nice, look at it. Smart chat, what is this? So for 1 and a white, it's a 1/2 flying that gives you 2 energy counters when it enters the battlefield. And when it attacks, you may pay an energy counter. If you do, another target attacking creature gains flying until end of the turn. I really like this. I really like this. I am giving it a C plus. I really like this card. It can attack on its own. It can. This is gonna enable your aggro decks, aggro white decks. It costs only one. You can get more energy later. You can use that energy for something else. I'm really happy with it. C plus.
Okay, I think this deck is pretty aggro specific. Like if you're not wanting to beat down, curve out, you generally don't want this card. It's also like not necessarily the most threatening on turn 2. Overall, I have this at a C.
Okay. It could go down on it. Your turn.
Let's talk about impeccable timing. 1 white, 2 mana total, instant. Impeccable timing deals 3 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. So it's tough. Like these effects are not necessarily ones that always can kill the things that you want. I think usually its best home is when you're trying to be mana efficient in the developing stage of the game, either not die, early, or you just have like something to double spell with so you can actually like affect combat in a proactive way. Later on in the game, this doesn't have as much utility, and I think it's kind of rough to be able to set yourself up in a situation where you can actually use this to a point you're really happy with. It's serviceable overall. I have this at a C.
Yeah, same C. It does kill a lot of things in Kaladesh, but there are things that create things, so you're not very happy to do it. But it does kill a lot of things, so just a C. It is a removal, not the most, not easy to choose something to remove with it, but what can you do? Okay, Glint Sleeve Artisan. So many artificers. It's a 2 and white artificer. That's a 2/2 and has Fabricate 1. Okay, just one more time. Fabricate is you can either put X counters on this creature, X +1/+1 counter, sorry, or you can create X 1/1 colorless servo non-flying. We had that thing asked multiple times. Servo tokens, artifact tokens. This is the 3-drop of choice for white. So I'm just giving it a C plus. It's gonna be nice if you need counters or if you need artifacts. C plus.
C plus, nothing else to add. Let's talk about what is this? Herald of the Fair? Yeah, Herald of the Fair. 2 white. Human. When Herald of the Fair enters the battlefield, target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Hot mediums. This card is pretty stinking mediocre. It's going to be serviceable as a 3-drop, but I don't think you're gonna want like infinite glint sleeve siphoners, or sorry, glint sleeve artisans over this. Overall, it's a D plus for me.
Yeah, D plus, just very mediocre, but a little bit better than just being a 3/2. Revoke privileges. For 2 and white, we got our first real removal spell. It's Enchanted creature. Enchanted creature can't block, attack, or crew vehicles. So this is important, and it doesn't crew vehicles. It's actually important, because if you are removing one of their creatures and they're crewing the vehicles, you're basically just wasting a removal, wasting the pacifism. Very good, B minus.
Yeah, B minus. Nothing else to add. It would be so bad without that text.
Yeah, it would be pretty bad without the last part. People say B. Don't think it's a B, guys, but because it is not that efficient, it doesn't remove it, so you can still play your common 2-drop, Aviary Mechanic, let's say, or something else. Just return that card, you can sacrifice it, la 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 la. So it's not just that. Oh, we already gave this card a grade.
Sorry, what did you give it? I actually didn't record it.
We both gave it a D+, but it could go down to a D.
Yeah, not super impressive. Let's talk about Inspired Charge then. Inspired Charge is 2 white, 4 mana total. For an instant, creatures you control get +2/+1 until end of turn. Yeah, you can think, hey, Fabricate, servos. That's like a really big thing. And yeah, if you have a deck full of it, play 1 Inspired Charge. If not, don't play it. Which is, to me, smells like a D.
Yeah, D. So you know when you want it. You usually don't want more than 1, even if even in the perfect deck for it. Sometimes you do want more than 1, like maximum 2. but usually not. So it's not gonna be high pick. Even when you really want it, it's not gonna be a high pick. Because most decks don't want it. A lot of the decks will not really want it. So you're gonna get this card. You're gonna get this card on the wheel at one point. So just a D. Don't pick it very highly. Propeller Pioneer. For 3 and a white is a 2-1 flying that has Fabricate 1. I do like Propeller Pioneer. It is just a 2-1 flying is kind of overcosted. A 3-2 flying, you can make a 3-2. It has a counter, which is always a plus for you, that you can make something with a counter if you want it to be a 3-2. Or if you just want to create a servo, so maybe the 2-1 is always going to be attacking, is going to be fine. And just go this as a C or C minus. I think it's a C. I think it's C minus. Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'm pretty different.
No. It can't be C minus. It's at least C. I'm giving it a C at least. It could go up to C plus.
I got this one as a C plus. I think this is going to be one of your stronger 4-drops typically. In a deck. I think you're always happy to have these. Like there's things you have to think about when you're thinking about the choice of fabricating. Do you think that they have removal that would just kill this anyway? So then at least I want to leave servo behind. Are there things I can do with a servo token, like have artifact synergies or crew vehicles? Because like in a vacuum without any other factors attached to it, it's better to give the 1/1 power flying, right? Because if you attach it as a +1/+1 counter, it's basically like that 1/1 has flying, essentially. And then so like kind of making a 1/1 seems weaker. But oftentimes if you're like trying to block and stuff, then going wide is better. So you really do have to ask yourself situationally when you're playing with Fabricate. For example, if you have a Sky Skiff in play, you probably want to make a servo so you can crew the stupid Sky Skiff. That's all. I got this in at a C plus, yeah.
I think keeping it on a high C. Ooh. Scotty?
Dawnfeather Eagle, 4, white. Creature bird, flying. When Dawnfeather Eagle enters the battlefield... Sorry, it's a 3/3. When Dawnfeather Eagle enters the battlefield, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain vigilance until end of turn. Big game effect. This is a big game effect. Like, great curve topper for any sort of aggressive deck. Fine in mid-range decks. Even in control decks, like, not the end of the world. Fun trick you can do. If you have something with a vehicle, for example, with crew 3, you can play this with the trigger on the stack, crew the vehicle. And then the vehicle will become a creature, and then it'll get +1/+1 in vigilance, and then you can go from there. So just keep that in mind, because that was like a pretty common play pattern that you wanted to do with Dawnfeather Eagle. But it's a good card. Got this on a C plus myself.
And I love the artwork. Oh, I got this on a B minus.
Okay.
Oh, I'm picking this over, I think, anything that we saw so far. I'm picking this over almost anything, even removal. Like it's still a 3/3 flyer after it's gone. After the effect is gone. I really like this card. Anyhow,
I love Dawnfeather Eagle as well.
I love it. Like a B minus. This is my 5-drop. Can I have a lot of these 5-drops? This is my 5-drop. If I have any other 5-drops, and I can get more eagles, just go away other 5-drops. Okay, we are on uncommons in white. We have a Gear Shift Ace. For 1 and white, it's a 2/1 first strike, and it's a pilot. The pilots have the effect that they give a keyword to a vehicle if they crew it. So whenever Gear Shift Ace crews a vehicle, that vehicle gains first strike until end of the turn. Pretty good. 2/1 first strike. That's fine. Giving vehicles first strike, high C plus.
Yeah, C plus, nothing else to add. Good card.
Everything is good here.
Going to be one of your better 2-drops.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Restoration Specialist. Restoration Specialist is 1 white, 2 mana total for Dwarf Artificer. It's a 2/1. You can sacrifice it and pay 1, or you can pay white to return up to 1 artifact card and up to 1 enchantment card from a graveyard to your hand. So you can return an artifact and an enchantment. It's a much tougher in this set to get an enchantment in the graveyard. It is a lot tougher. So oftentimes I've personally found myself only returning artifacts.
Yeah.
And even then it's like I'm kind of like not super hot on this card. It's a serviceable 2-drop, but it's nothing I was like incredibly excited about. So I personally would take this at a C minus.
C minus?
Yep. Minus, C minus.
It is a 2/1, so it triggers Revolt. It trades with a lot of things.
I generally found this to be worse than both Countless Gear, Renegade, and Aviary mechanic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, this is the worst 2-drop in white that we've seen so
Yeah,
far.
there are much better 2-drops in white. I'm giving it a C minus. There are much better 2-drops in white. C minus. It's pretty good, but yeah. Server Exhibition. For 1 and white, you create 2 sorcery speed. You create 2 1/1 colorless server artifact creature tokens. This is good. In some decks it's a C plus. In some decks it's a C. I think the bottom line is C. Great with improvise. This is a great with improvise. Really good with improvise. High C. I think it's a high C.
I'll go with this one for C. You know, creating 2 artifacts. I mean, you do have to keep in mind for improvised payoffs that creating 2 artifacts on turn 2 can lead to some pretty busted looking curves.
Yeah.
The bodies themselves are not good. You know, I'm not happy about just 1/1s. You know, for 2. It's like fine, but it's not great. It barely attacks through anything. They block fine though.
I really like this scene. Like, this is gonna go so much higher in some of the Boros and Orzhov decks, especially Boros. Because red has some really solid improvised things. Oh! Your turn.
Let's talk about Aerial Responder. 1 white, Dwarf Soldier. 2/3, Flying Vigilance, Lifelink. A lot of keywords. Very strong. Difficult to cast. Don't discount that. But I got this at a B minus.
I got this on a B. It's crazy. So for 3 mana, 2/3 is really good. Sorry, for 3 mana, 2/3 flyer is really good. 2/3 vigilance flyer, nice. Lifelink. It's lifelink. It's lifelink. Wow, vigilance is just an extra plus. Lifelink. This is like a high B for me. This card is really strong. I really wonder what you're gonna put on B, Scotty. If this is a B minus.
I actually think this card's a little overhyped in general. Like, I think the body was fine. The stats are not incredible. The keywords are fantastic.
Stats are not incredible.
They're not incredible. It's like the stats are not incredible.
You expect a
The
2/2
keywords
for
are
that.
phenomenal.
Don't you expect a 2/2 flyer for that?
I think 2/2 flyers are pretty bad.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, well, like this. Hey, you just got me. You just got me with that. I wasn't talking about the keywords, but just in terms of like raw sizing, I understand you can't separate the card from what it is. But I mean, I think we're splitting hairs at this point. Fairgrounds Warden.
Reset the grades.
Like, I think whatever. Let's move on. Fairgrounds Warden, 2 white, 3 mana total for a Dwarf Soldier, 1/3. When Fairground Warden enters the battlefield, exile target creature an opponent controls until Fairgrounds Warden leaves the battlefield. This card is extremely strong. Yes, sure. Sometimes if they have instant speed interaction, they can surprise you by getting their stuff back at instant speed, which is a little rough. But otherwise, this card is Aerial Responder. But yeah, Fairgrounds Warden. I like this card a lot. I personally have this one also at a B minus. Am I like really far behind? Wow, I think I'm just really far behind on the stream. Let me
share the screen for you.
Yeah, I'll just go on a screen share.
There you go.
I think somehow I just hiccuped super hard. Okay, got you. Much better. I'm gonna pause the stream then. Yeah, I got this one at a B minus myself.
No, this is really solid. I also got it on a B minus because, yeah, you're returning something. It's easier to remove than your usual removal. But it is a creature in the end, so that has upsides and downsides. I think this is a very high B minus for me. It could go up to a B. Like, this is so much better than the rare that we have in
Skyclave Apparition?
Yeah. Even though it's a permanent.
I guess.
This is so much better, I think. It can actually block some 2/2s and so on.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, Skyveil's Shot. For 2 and a blue and a white, it's an instant that says destroy target creature with power 3 or greater, scry 1. It's so important to have this effect on an instant in a vehicle set. So I think this is really strong. This is just, it's not that hard to get something with 3 or greater. This is the set where there are going to be problems with less than 3, right? But I'm just... Are we undervaluating the 1-3, the last card? Should it be a B? Scotty?
I like B minus.
I like B minus because if you remove something very problematic, there's always a chance they're gonna get it back. So yeah. Okay, Skyveil is Shot. B minus or C plus? You talk about it, let me think.
Okay, there is certainly a condition here, but being instant speed and scrying 1 is a nice bonus. There's going to be some matchups where this card is not going to cut it, right?
Yeah.
There's going to be some matchups where opponent curves out with a bunch of low, whatever cost creatures, and you sort of have to deal with it. In general, I do think this card is quite strong, but I have it as a high C plus myself.
I think it also is a high C plus. Yeah. But there are people saying B plus. B plus is like if this was this and created a 3/3. That would be a B plus, by the way. So just imagine how much stronger that card is. That would be a B plus in our tier list.
Okay, let's talk about Thopter Arrest. Thopter Arrest is 2 white enchantment. When Thopter Arrest enters the battlefield, exile target artifact or creature an opponent controls until Thopter Arrest leaves the battlefield. It's like I get like this is we just had the comparison to Fairgrounds Warden, right? I actually think this is a little better. It can hit a wider range of stuff. It's not as vulnerable for them getting it back. Yeah, they can have enchantment removal, that exists. But overall, I think it's a little bit safer. And that, honestly, to me, is a little bit more important than just the 1/3 body. That's kind of difficult to tangle in combat anyway. Mostly out of fear of them getting it back. So I have this one at a solid B.
I have it on a B minus.
Okay.
I guess this was instant speed. I would have it on a B. I really like this, but like a high B minus for me. I'm picking the 2/3 lifelink over that.
I'm not.
Aeronaut Admiral. Yeah, you definitely am. For 3 and a white, it's a 3/1 flyer that says vehicles you control have flying. So this is really nice. In Kaladesh again, using 4 mana, it is already a little bit expensive. Because a lot of the times when you play your 4-drop, depending on who started attacking first, you kind of have to block. So this set, I think it still has good attackers. Probably not even close as they were before, I think. That's how it feels. So I guess this is better this time, and I do like everything about this. Vehicles having flying, really solid. Not sure if it's a C or a C plus. What do you think, Scotty?
I got this one as a C plus. If you cast this on turn 4 and you're getting beaten down, it's gonna feel bad. At least you trade off with something, probably. But it's not gonna feel great. But there's gonna be some positions where you have some semblance of a non-Skyskiff vehicle, and if you drop this, your opponent's just like, well, dang, I'm dead. How can I beat like this 6/6 flyer, right? And it's going to be strong in those cases. So I got those as C plus. I would speculate on this above like my 2/2s for 2.
Yeah, I can give this a C plus. I can give this a C plus. It could go down though. It could go down. Refurbish 3 and white. Return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. F.
So a Visionary Augmenter. Visionary Augmenter, 1 white, 4 mana total. Dwarf Artificer, which is a 2/1. But has Fabricate 2, which means you can put 2 +1/+1 counters on it or create 2 servos. What you cannot do is split it. You can't make 1 servo and 1 counter. Illegal. You can either do 2 servos or 2 +1/+1 counters. A vast majority of the time, you're going to make 2 servos with this one. Just because like it's not super impressive to make like a 4/3 for 4. Like, congratulations, here's your Nyxborn Minotaur. But 2 servos actually can do a decent amount of work if you have the synergies with them. Overall, I think this one is a pretty solid 4-drop, especially if you can use the servos to great effect. So I got this one at a C+.
I got
Like
it as
this
a C
card.
plus as well. I think it's gonna be really fine, even as a 4-3, right? It does
Mhm.
it's a fine stat line, and sometimes you just want the counters because of maybe your Orzhov or Celestia, and then maybe the counters matter. A lot of the times most of the times I think it's gonna be 2 tokens, but it is really nice to have the flexibility, and it is really nice that this is counters instead of being just a 4-3. And remember, Fabricate is when this creature enters the battlefield, put 2 counters. It is not as it's entering the battlefield, so be very careful about the subtle strikes and instant speed effects. Be very careful about it. You don't want to lose your 4-drop for 1 mana or 2 mana and 1 energy or something. Airdrop Aeronauts for 5 mana. So for 3 and 2 white, it's flying 4-3. That says Revolt. When it enters the battlefield, if a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn, you gain 5 life. So this is Revolt is really hard to use with your Revolt effects, with your sacrifices that cost 1 or 2 mana, because it is already a 5-drop. You don't want this being a 6-drop or a 7-drop. Opponent has to trade, and I think they're gonna. The longer the format is here, or the more veterans we have, usually the longer the format is here, they are gonna know, hey, this could be the Aeronaut's turn, so it's gonna be impossible for me to race if I don't let the damage go through, or something like that. Usually 4-3 is really, really solid, but this was not as powerful as it looks in the previous sets, because a lot of the times you were not it was kind of 50-50 if you were attacking or not, depending who was first and who curved out better. Because Kaladesh is all about beatdown. It's all about getting through damage as fast as you can. And 4-3, even though it's flying, was not as powerful as it. Sorry, It's not as powerful as it looks. It wasn't, but I think it's gonna be better in this set. So I want to give this a C plus, but I think it's gonna go down to a C or a C minus. I'm gonna start it as a C plus. I believe it was not a C plus in the previous set. It was definitely not a C plus, even though it would be C plus on many other sets.
I think what we should know, at least fundamentally, is that Revolt is much easier to trigger if you're beating down, because
Yeah,
then your
yeah.
opponent's like way more likely to actually trade off with your stuff. So we can't say, hey, this gains 5 life on into the battlefield, it's a good defensive creature, right?
Yeah.
That's just not true,
Yeah.
because like it's going to be very difficult to actually revolt on that turn
Mm-hmm.
without combat. Of course it's possible with like Renegade map and stuff, but it's not the norm. So I'm going to start I'm going to start this at a C, because I'm more of a pessimist on this one. The stats are quite good. I just don't think that
Go down to C.
if you compare this to Dawn Feather Eagle, I actually think Dawn Feather Eagle
It's better.
is better. So
I'm gonna
like,
also give it a
this
C.
isn't even like
Yeah,
this isn't even like, hey, this is my primo 5-drop. It's not. The common. I kind of want the common more, which is a bad place to be in.
Yeah, I'm also down to C for this one. Because it was not as good as it looks. The 4-3 is usually like a C plus. The 4-3 flyer usually is a C plus, but in Kaladesh, you just wanted to beat them down. It's your turn.
All right, let's talk about Wispeaver Angel, 4 white. For creature angel, it's a 4/4. Flying, when Wispeaver Angel enters the battlefield, you may exile target creature you control and return that target creature to the battlefield under its owner's control. Yeah, funny joke. You can like play this and then flicker something with Revolt, and then hey, it comes back and it revolts off itself. Whoa, fun. Which is kind of cool. But at the same time, it's very expensive, and the stats are reasonable, but I'm not really hot on these expensive Dorkers, even though this is like a fine stat line, and even though it does stuff when it enters. I think this one's at a C, just because I don't think that these high drops are at a premium.
Yeah, this card is red, dude. It's so red. What the hell? It's so red. I need explanation. It's super red. Look at the hands and the
Oh, I
face.
thought you were saying rad. I thought you were saying RAD, like radical. Like it's really cool, dude.
Yeah,
But it's
that was the
so.
joke.
Oh my gosh! So you're just now pointing out hands and skin color.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that was a joke that I made. Uh, so you thought correct. It is a C. This would be C plus or B minus in so many other sets, right? But I think I'm starting it as a C because this would be B minus easy in most sets. But I don't know how good the 6 drops are going to be in Kaladesh Remastered. Again, we are going to have to see, and this card could go up. It could go up, definitely. Okay, we're done with white. For me, but not yet. Where are we now? Oh, we are on white. Okay.
Let's do white rares,
Mobius, we
Lola.
skipped you, so you have the chance to play, to talk about this amazing card.
Who, me?
Yeah. Since we skipped you last time.
This is a F. Don't pick this card. Move on. Do I need to read it? Authority of the Consuls. 1 white enchantment. Creatures your opponent controls enter the battlefield tapped. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your opponent's control, you gain 1 life. I don't like this. Don't play this. F.
This is one of those. This is one of those annoying cards where like your opponent's going to drop it on turn 1, and sometimes it's going to do stuff.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really irritating. But I think it's never going to be worth a card. F.
Oh yeah, everybody's going to lose to this card, and it's an F.
It's so annoying. Yeah, it's so annoying. 100%.
Oh, like
100%.
just to say how you're going to lose to it is that you're going to like going to want to curve out, especially with vehicles, and then your things are going to enter the battlefield tap, and you can't crew the vehicles immediately and attack, and that's where it's going to be the most annoying.
Yeah, but not just that. You're going to remember this card when your opponent plays it on turn 1, because that's what you remember, because that's what I remember.
Yeah.
But I also remember trying it or whatever, and if you don't play it turn 1, it's dead. It's not
And
worth
even
the
if you play it
card.
on turn 1, it's bad.
Yeah, sometimes it's not even worth then. But you're going to remember the times when somebody played it turn 1 and it just ruined the game for you somehow, like with vehicles, etc., and you just couldn't. Yeah, it's just a shit card.
Yeah, and
It's
of
not
course,
worth a card. Remember, guys, the cards, the number of cards in your limited deck are resources, and unlike Zendikar and stuff like that, we don't have lands that are also cards. So
yeah, this usually loses your card, doesn't gain enough, so goodbye. Toolcraft Exemplar. It's a creature dwarf artificer. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control an artifact, the exemplar gets +2/+1 until end of turn. If you control 3 or more artifacts, it also gains first strike. This card was nice. I remember, especially in white, it was not hard to control an artifact, and having a 3/2 is fine. It doesn't really block well, but it's fine. If it gains first strike, it attacks through most things. It does attack through most things, so I'm giving it a pretty solid C+.
yeah, nothing to add. I remember this card being okay, not annoying, not overpowered, just okay. It's fine.
C+, nothing to add.
Okay. Mobius, we're skipping you, Scotty.
Okay.
That's okay. Sram, Senior Edificer. 1 colorless, 1 white for a 2/2 Dwarf Advisor. And whenever you cast an aura, equipment, or vehicle spell, you draw a card. It's fine. It's fine. It's a bear with some upside. It's fine. It's like a C minus.
What?
C minus? D plus. I don't want to play this card. Well, no, actually, that's a lie. I do want to play this card, but I never want to first pick it. So, that's what I'm basing this on.
Okay,
I'll stick
like,
with C minus probably.
I'm pretty hot. I'm pretty hot on just bears in the set in general. And I think if you just drop equipment, or sorry, not equipment, or vehicles, which is going to be the main thing that draws you card, later on can draw you a card. Like if I can get 1 card off of this, I'll be super happy. 2 is obviously we're starting to go off. But I have this as C+.
I have this as a B minus. I love this card. I'm picking it very highly.
Are you first picking this card?
Sometimes, yes. It's auras.
I almost never see myself first, but that's the only reason. Otherwise, I would be on Scotty's side on the C+. Because ideally, like you said, if you draw 1 card, it's worth. But the problem is, I would never first pick this ever.
It's very good if you draw 1 card, I think.
Yeah, yeah, and
So-
then it's still there, and you have the option to draw more cards or the potential. But the problem is, what order are we picking this card? And I'm never picking this early. I'm just not. So C minus.
I do really like this. B minus for me. If it draws you one card, it's B minus. If it draws you more, it's better. There
An
is
important-
common aura removal in
It's
white.
not B minus if it draws you one card. That's
For me,
not
it
worth.
is. For me, a 2/2 for 2. Draw one card. If it was just that, it's obviously that's
No,
different
that's
than
like
this.
a C plus.
For me, that is like a B minus or a B.
I think that's a B minus. Like straight up like 2/2 visionary
Yeah.
for 2
2
mana.
to visionary for 2. Probably a B for me, but might be a B minus in different sets. That's how highly I value it. I value drawing a card for a regular bear.
Yeah, but this isn't the same.
Yeah, but we were just talking, and you said it.
Yeah,
it's
you're
not.
right.
Yeah.
Probably like C plus B minus. You're right. 2/2 draw card is fine. And that's a card I would first pick.
That's a card that's
So-
gonna be my best 2-drop, and it's gonna be great late game as well.
Yeah. I don't
All right,
know.
let's talk about Master Trinketeer. 2 white, a creature, dwarf artificer. Servos and it's a 3/2. Servos and Thopters you control get +1/+1. And you can pay 4 mana total to create a 1/1 servo artifact creature token. So as long as this is on the battlefield, it's going to be a 2/2. On curve, not embarrassing. You know, just you can trade this off and don't be afraid to trade this off. If you're able to curve out with any sort of servos, Thopters before this, which I don't think is super common, there's a couple cards that do it, then it has immediate board impact. Otherwise, if you go late in the game, this is pretty good. It's a pretty good edge towards overwhelming in a sort of stalled board position. It's not incredible. Like a 2/2 every turn is not going to bust a game wide open, especially not at this price. But I got this as C+.
So it creates a 2/2s, right?
Yep. It's expensive.
It is expensive.
It's not that
I
expensive.
think it's much higher than what you're talking about. Unfortunately, in white, the thing, what's the name? The 2/3 vigilance for 4 is really bad, and if that's the thing creating your servos, that's pretty damn bad. But still, I'm giving this like. I'm gonna give it a B. It goes down if you don't have enough. If you're not gonna have any servos at all, but I'm just giving it a B. I think a B is solid grade for it. I'm picking this very, very highly.
Now this is a B minus for me. I would first pick this card. There's nothing much to add.
If something gets that
this is
servo-
a fairly easy effect to, I think,
Yeah.
understand.
And bottom line,
I
if-
don't think 4 is an awful lot either.
and it doesn't tap, and 3/2 can trade. So just trade it off. It's no big deal. If that's
go
what
B
you
minus.
have to do.
Yeah, I think C plus is just too low for something that
Yeah.
mana sinks you for a decent.
And
Effect.
will have board impact in a lot of the decks.
Yeah.
Okay.
If anything, I
Ether
might go up to
Storm-
be like Lola at some point, but we'll see.
What?
I mean, if anything, I might go higher on that card at some point. We'll
I
see
might
how it
go
plays
down,
out.
but I think B is correct to start off.
Yeah,
Ether
I'm
Storm
on B
Rock.
minus.
For 2 and double white, it's a bird, it's a 3/3, it's a flying creature that says whenever it or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain an energy. And whenever if it attacks, you may pay 2. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on the rock. And tap up to 1 target creature defending player controls. This is crazy good. 4 mana 3/3 is fine, even in a fast format like Kaladesh. So just another creature enters the battlefield, and this becomes a 4/4. That's easy. Non-token? No. Tokens can also enter the battlefield. This is really good. It is. I don't think it is a bomb,
Whoa.
because it doesn't. I think it's like as high as a B plus can go. It's a really good card, but if it gets it can get removed. It's not that hard to remove. Just 3 damage, like not that hard. But you better not remove it with white common removal or blue common removal, any blue removal basically. Yeah, I have this as a super high B plus.
I agree. I feel like this is also a card of which I have deleted some memories of it because it can be super, super annoying to play against. But yeah, I agree with you. It's very, very good B+. I thought you were going to give it a lower grade for some reason.
No, it is so good.
Yo, this is a bomb. This card's a bomb.
Going up to A minus?
It's hyper efficient, extremely easy, I believe, to just get the energy almost every turn, take out their best blocker. Even on the defensive, it's not the most embarrassing thing in the world. It can actually just block flyers. You do have to attack once to get like a super sizable blocking body, but it's for this cost. This is hyper efficient and absolutely must be dealt with.
Yeah, this must be dealt with. Yeah.
That's true. It
I'm
does.
on an A
You
minus.
can't just leave it there.
But if you're blocking, it doesn't have to be dealt with.
Yeah, if you're behind and you play this,
Yeah. It gets worse. A lot worse.
whereas the pangolin is.
The pangolin is just better than this, in my opinion. Just easily better.
I think it's the flip side. I think this is much better than Pangolin.
All right. Because pangolin is always going to be great. Blocking, attacking.
Yeah, I think baseline, like this, on average,
Yeah, except
the
you don't
pangolin
have
is
5
gonna be
mana.
Oh, come on.
There's a big difference between 4 and 5.
It is.
Big.
But,
That's true.
Big.
come on.
That's true.
He's a 3/3. That's a 5/5 that gives counter to everything when it enters the battlefield. This needs more creatures. This needs to attack. Like pangolin,
Yeah, these
you
are
play.
great facts.
Huh?
You know what?
These are great aspects about the card.
I agree with you, Scotty. I'm gonna go up to A minus for this, and I'm also gonna go up to A minus for pangolin. I think you guys have both talked me up on both cards.
This is very close to A minus for me. Not an A minus.
I think
though.
I'm gonna go up A minus on both of them. I think these are the cards that are gonna be
I think
just.
the problem I have with this card, I think it's going to be 50-50 if you're going to be attacking or... So you make a very aggressive deck, and it's still 50-50 if you're attacking or blocking more. So your 4-drops kind of need to be like crazy good attackers, which this is, but not... I mean, it doesn't win you the game next turn or something like that, which bombs don't have to do, of course.
I mean, this
but-
wins the game fairly quickly if it's
yeah,
attacking.
but it's like 50-50. 50% times you really gotta block. 50% times you really gotta attack. So sure, and then when you gotta attack, the opponent can just kill it. It can just kill it.
You can kill the pangolin also.
This card is so everything is amazing in this card, but I don't see it as a bomb really, and it's not that hard to kill.
I think it's not that hard to win with this card as well.
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
like outright just win.
Absolutely.
Like that's why I went higher, because Scotty's right. Tapping down their best blocker is super huge. If you have other ground attackers that are being cucked by their ground forces or by specifically one, yeah, just win forehead. Like sometimes it will just win.
I'm
Like
just saying.
getting rid of their best. I think 50-50 is too harsh of a way of looking at this card for the power level we're getting here.
I think it is 50-50.
Tiny detail about tapping stuff to attack. Tapping gets a little worse in a vehicle set where they can just, in response to your tap target, crew
That's
vehicle.
true also.
That as well. That
Yep.
as well.
Let's talk about Stram's expertise.
Okay.
I don't know who's peeking, but Stram's expertise. 2 white, 4 mana total for a sorcery. Create 3 1/1 servo artifact creature tokens. You may cast a spell with convertible mana cost 3 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. So you cast this on turn 4, and ideally you double spell, so that's like a lot of stuff in the battlefield at once. 3 1/1s for 4 mana is a little underrate, but it's fine. It's going to be perfectly fine. I think this card is completely reasonable as a 4-drop, and sometimes on turn 4 you can just dump the rest of your hand, essentially, if this is the top of your curve, and your opponent has to work really hard not to die in the subsequent turns. So I'm going to put this this is a B- for me.
High B- from me, exactly what Scott said. I don't know about
I
dumping the
agree.
rest of your hand, but one more card easily dumped.
Yeah, I agree. Decent.
Chup. Ooh.
Haha.
Angel of...
Go ahead, Lola. You can read this.
Thank you. Angel of Invention. For 3 and double white, it's a 2/1 flying vigilance lifelink. And it has Fabricate 2. And it has other creatures you control get +1/+1. What? This is a B- plus? What the hell?
Lola, don't get so offended.
Don't get so angry at the votes, dude. Come on.
So,
Gee.
okay. you do not want to do this, but this creature can be a 4/3 lifelink flying vigilance. Like 5 mana, 4/3 lifelink flying vigilance that gives anthem effect to your whole creature. That is what you don't
Except
want to do.
itself.
But it can be that. It can be that. That's extremely powerful. That is extremely powerful. But sorry, Kitty Fox. Sorry, Kitty. So that's extremely powerful. But it gets better. The opponent has to kill this. So in 90% of situations, this is gonna be a 2/1 flying vigilance lifelink, which is great. It's great, and it's gonna create two 2/2s. And everything else is gonna have +1/+1. So it creates 4/4 on the ground over 2 bodies, and it's a flying vigilance lifelink 2/1 most of the times. An anthem effect. Everything is going for this card. Is this an A plus or an A? A plus or an A? Why are all the angels red? But yeah, A plus or an A?
It's just theme. It's thematic.
Not sure if it's A plus or an A.
Well, I'm giving it an A+. I'll just say that now. I think this is A+.
Better than Gearhulk for you?
Which Gearhulk?
The green one.
Yes. But, it's close. That Gearhulk is pretty busted also.
Yeah.
But I think this is slightly better.
What about you, Scotty? I think this
I'm
is
giving
better.
an A, flat
I
A.
think this is better.
Nothing else to add.
The flexibility is nice. Not that the Gearhulk is not flex. That's dumb, right? That's a dumb thing to say. I just like evasion.
Scotty, what do you think? Is this
I gave
better
it a
or the
flat A.
Gearhulk? Is this better or the Gearhulk?
Gosh, I think they're pretty even. I think Angel's a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly 100%. That's exactly where I'm at.
So, Lola?
I don't know if it's an A plus or an A. What do you give it, Scotty? I think it's
I
an
gave
A.
it a flat A. Mobius gave it an A+.
I think I want to go high A, but I mean,
Come on
it's-
board, Lola. Look at this. This card is stupid.
I just want to
Dumb.
give artifacts that are as powerful as this A plus. So I'm gonna give it a high A.
All right, nice.
It doesn't really matter, right? But still.
No, it doesn't matter at all.
No, not really. These A's and A pluses are just like the most meaningless fights or discussions because both are game winning. It's just what degree of game winning? How badly am I pummeling my opponent with this card, basically?
Scotty? Mobius?
It's me, I think. Cataclysmic Gearhulk. Is this the worst one? 3 colorless, 2
Yeah, this is
white,
the worst
4/5 construct with vigilance. Playable. When Cataclysmic Gearhulk enters the battlefield, each player chooses an artifact, a creature, an enchantment, and a planeswalker from among the non-land permanents they control, and sacrifices the rest. I know this reads to be like super cool or whatever. It's not. It
No.
doesn't. It doesn't work out that way. We've seen these effects a few times. What are they called, Scotty? These effects?
They're called cataclysms.
Cataclysm. There you go. I forget. And you know what? That's funny because this card has cataclysmic in its name. Coincidence?
Yeah, it must be
I
pure
think
coincidence.
not. Anyway, it's all right. This is the worst one, right? I think being the worst one is still in B range for me.
It still be something, right? But
Yeah, it's still a B something. I think I'm gonna give it a flat B.
the
Yeah,
body's
I think
the body's bad.
It's not terrible
But it's
because
not
it's
good.
vigilant and it's more of a defensive creature than an attacking creature, which is a little bit sad, but
Okay,
it's fine.
this was a debate back in original Kaladesh Aether Revolt, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is stronger of a magic card, Cataclysmic Gearhulk or Bastion Mastodon? By the end of it, I landed on Team Bastion Mastodon. This is a D+.
Actually, the more I think about it, I don't know. You gotta have some good scenarios for this. Like, this is not a board vibe. Like, The
That is
opponent has to
incorrect.
have
What kind of discussion is that? This is better than Oh wait, colorless.
It's colorless, yeah.
That's where you're coming from.
This
Sometimes
is
you can't
actually
cast this.
really
Like,
bad, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
This is. I wanted this to be good. It's true. I really wanted this. I remember playing.
I'll
with
go
it,
down
man.
to B minus, but I'm not going any lower than that.
No, it's not in a B range actually. We lied, Mobius.
No,
It's like
don't get too caught up in
no,
Scotty's.
no.
Because
this is the-
listen, right? What's
is-
the worst case scenario? I can't cast this.
yeah, you can't
Actually,
cast it because you're gonna
that's
lose
pretty
on
bad.
board.
That's pretty bad.
It's not good on the board. That's gonna.
That's pretty bad.
This is not. a
However, on the flip side, see, this is more of a 50-50 for me because unlike the rock, this is an actual. Sometimes I can't cast this, but when I cast this, or when I can cast this and I'm casting this, it's going to be good.
No. No.
Yeah. If I'm casting this, it's because I'm having a net gain.
No. Okay. Then. Okay. That's different. Okay. So when you can cast.
That's what I mean,
thought-
right? Like with the rock, you said the attacking blocking is the 50-50. For me, the 50-50 here is can I cast it or not? And if I'm casting it, it's going to be good. I'm going to stick with B minus for this for now. You know what? As per previous discussions, probably it's going to end up like Scotty's right, and I'm just being foolish. But I want to believe in white. Why is white always weakest in draft? Feels bad, man.
Man, this is.
Yeah,
like...
you choose this as your artifact, obviously. I know Lola obviously knows that, chat. It's fine.
Yeah, I know. I
But
chose this
even
as
then,
artifact.
even then,
Even then, yeah.
even then, it's difficult.
This is not easy situation. Like there are board vibes, and it is easy to prepare a board vibe situation. It is not easy to prepare a cataclysmic gear Hulk situation.
No.
It is not easy, and I don't think it's a D plus though.
You're gonna
I
put it
really
in C
don't-
range?
I really don't think it's a D plus. Oh, gosh, yeah. I mean, enchantment doesn't matter. Maybe you have top tier arrest. I guess it matters with top tier arrest. So opponent chooses an artifact and creature. They're probably gonna have it. You choose an artifact and a creature. Man, it's not good. C minus.
Don't mention LSV.
C minus.
C minus? Fair enough. I like that. We got a D, a C, and a B. Averages out to a C.
Nice.
Nice. Let's
What
go.
do you give it? B minus, yeah?
Yeah, I'm sticking with B minus for
Now
now.
this is a
you guys,
cataclysm I want.
you guys are probably right. I always caveat these kind of ratings,
Don't
but
raise
I
the
want to
gems,
believe, chat. I want to believe.
This is Valors, thank you for the bits. This is the cataclysm I want. It's not really a cataclysm, but this is that kind of an effect that I want.
Yeah.
I guess I'm reading. Fumigate, 3, white, 5 mana. Sorcery, destroy all creatures. You gain 1 life equal, or for each creature destroyed this way. That's actually really nice. Like if you're getting beaten down and you're a little bit behind on board, then you want to fumigate, you gain a little bit of life padding. Solid. Doesn't hit vehicles most often, which is actually a pretty big downside. And I think in general, we've had these set reviews over and over again, and I'm always a little bit lower on sweepers than y'all.
Yes.
I'm on a B minus here. I think it's a good card.
I'm between B and a B minus because getting 1 life is big. It's big. I had Fumigate decks where like it is big to get some life for all the creatures destroyed as a sweeper. Because while you're preparing a situation that is good for a sweeper, also remember it's not destroying your vehicles. So this is not a big deal that it's not destroying
Or your
vehicles.
opponent's vehicles.
It doesn't destroy any vehicles, so it is not a bad
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
It is probably a good thing because you can play your vehicles and they are not
Yeah,
gonna
because
die.
you know this is coming. Your
Yeah,
opponent
yeah.
doesn't.
So I don't. Scotty said it's bad, but it's not bad. I think that's a very
That's
minor
fine.
plus, extremely minor plus. So, we, in a kind of a slower deck, I do like this a lot, and this can skew my deck to being a little bit slower, cause this Ligon is big. I'm just giving it a solid B. I really like this card.
Yeah, I'm on B.
Yeah, if it was 4 mana,
I don't have anything else to add.
I think I would do it as on a
This
B.
is everything you want from a board wipe.
Yeah.
Except in Kaladesh, it's a little bit
Yeah.
there's a few more other points you have to think about when playing it, but
I think it's a bit slow for Kaladesh.
you guys know I love my board wipes, and this is exactly what you want from a board wipe. I'd rather it be 4 mana, and obviously, but 5 mana board wipes are completely playable.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's important for Kaladesh to be 4 mana, for this to be 4 mana, but 5 is still really good. What did you say, Scotty?
No. I was wondering if we changed the card. I got confused for a second.